So hi, I'm Melissa Wen from Igalia. I saw that we already started to share many recipes, kernel recipes. And in this talk, I will talk about the Kworkflow. That is a cookbook of kernel workflow recipes. So it mix and match recipes end to end. This is my first time at Kernel Recipes, so let me introduce myself briefly. As I said, I work for Igalia, an open source cooperative, and I work on GPU drivers in the DRM subsystem. In the past, I co-maintained the VKMS and V3D drivers in the subsystem. And nowadays, I am working on the AMD display driver, mostly for the Steam Deck. Besides code, I contribute to the Linux kernel community by mentoring in programs like Outreach, Google Summer of Code, and Igalia coding experience, and by improving documentation and tools like Kworkflow. So what is this cookbook called Kworkflow? Kworkflow it was created by Rodrigo Siqueira, my colleague at Igalia. It's a single platform that combines software and tools to optimize your kernel development workflow, reduce the time spent on repetitive tasks, standardize best practice, and ensure that deployment data flows smoothly and reliably between different kernel workflows. It's mostly voluntary work, and it's composed of recipes from real use case according to kernel developer needs. So what we are doing with Kworkflow, we are mixing and matching the daily life of a typical kernel developer with kernel workflow recipes and with some secret sauce. So let's prepare our first recipe. It's a very basic one, just a good GPU driver for my AMD laptop. First, we need to check, in any recipe, we need to check the ingredients and tools that we will use. And we need to check what we already have at home. So we can use a KW device, a command on Kworkflow, to get information about the target device, and KW remote to set the address of a target machine. Here is a demonstration that, for example, I ran the KW device, and I can see some information about my laptop. It's AMD, it's the name of the kernel, the version, also the GPU, the model of the GPU, and other informations. And I ran a KW remote list, so I can check what is the IP of the target machine, but I can also set that according to my environment. We can use KW config to select the tools that KW will use. So it's a set of configurations. Mostly, I will explain later better about each one, but you can check some settings for building, compiling, deploying, and send patches, for example. And we have KW kernel config manager that I can say that's kind of getting your shopping list. So basically the config file that you use for your custom kernel. We can have like a list, we can save all the config files that we usually use, and we can get it back, and we can check what we have stored in our environment. So then, after the ingredients, we need to prepare the recipe. The first step is mix the ingredients with KW build. So I ran KWB to check some information about the the kernel that I am compiling, and then I can change very quickly the config file. I can also check, for example, here I can check some configurations that I can set in KW, for example, if it's cross-compiled, the architecture, if I want to pass any C flags, and then I just build. But here you can check that I didn't build anything because it was already built. Then we need to bake it with KW deploy. So it's basically we are deploying, installing the custom kernel in a given target machine. So that's, you can see that I am using a the kernel from the distribution, and then I will check some, okay, it's just passing different information. But yeah, I can check the configuration that I have for deployment. For example, the kind of compression, if I want to deploy that remote on a local machine, if I will reboot after deploy, and it will, when it's rebooted, it will deploy in the custom kernel that I just told. So here I am just running that, and if I don't have it already set as a default configuration, I can just pass kwd reboot, so it will reboot the machine as I expected. And then I am just checking that I installed the new custom kernel in my machine. It's not the one that came from the distribution. So then, finally, when you are preparing a very good meal, you need to taste first. And then it's time to check if everything is good, if it's actually a good GPU driver for my AMD laptop. So we can use the KW debug. And here it's kind of, with KW debug, I can remotely get the demask, and I can, for example, follow it. And I can get the log from command execution. Here I drop the graphical interface before because I want to unload the AMD GPU driver. But I tried to unload it, but it's not working. So it's not tasting good, and I need to find a way to fix it. When we have cooking problems, we can search on the internet to find a way to make it taste better. And we can use, in the case of KW, we can use the KW Patch Hub. So Patch Hub is, oh, okay, yeah, it's running. In the Patch Hub, we can go to any mailing list that we have in LAR. And for example, I just checked the first series that was mine, and I proposed some reverts. Then I bookmarked this series, and I applied that in a specific patch on top of the main line. So it created a different branch that you can check that my patch was just applied, and then I can run KW. Now I am just checking, for example, the configuration about deployment. Because I want to change the way that I'm doing. I want to run, instead of KW build and KW deploy, I'm just running KW BD. And then it will compile the kernel in one shot. And after that, I just set also that I want to reboot the machine. But then I want to pass that because we don't want to see everything. So basically it was compiled, and now I am installing in the target machine. Then, okay, I have it deployed. I need to check if it solved the problem, and then my kernel will taste as good as I expect. So I can run, it stopped? Okay, yeah. I can run again the same command to unload the MDGPU driver. And then finally, we can see that I finished it. And finally, my kernel is working as expected. How can I move it? Okay, the second recipe, Raspberry Pi 4 with upstream kernel. Then again, ingredients, but we can skip this part. It's kind of changing scenarios in a TV show. We have in KW the environment command, the environment feature, that for example, I was working on AMD laptop, and now I want to change to the Raspberry Pi environment. So you can check that it's a different kernel, and I have different configurations. For example, I need to cross-compile, I need I am using targeting a different architecture, and I am targeting also a different device. I can also do even faster. I can use KW init template that give you all settings needed for some typical target machines. It's like starting cooking with the mirepoix ready. So basically, I will create a new environment, an environment just for the Raspberry Pi, and I can use KW template and select the one for Raspberry Pi 4, and then I need to set, for example, the IP of the target machine, and I need to fetch the config file, and I can do it with Kworkflow. I can change the config file if I need to, everything inside the Kworkflow, but then I prefer to use a config file that I already have saved, because I know it works. And basically, I have the kernel built, and I am deploying again this kernel. So it's kind of super fast to just start. We don't have, we are not supporting many devices, but it's, a way to start from typical target machines. So it's building, deploying, and I can wait a bit because I need to reboot the machine, and then I can check that I just installed my custom mainline kernel. So the third recipe, a mainline kernel ring on my Steam Deck. I will try to do a demonstration here. I have it recorded if it doesn't work as expected, but let's see what I can do. Now I need to deal with my, okay. Let me move here. Okay. Let me set the Wi-Fi. Okay. So I will turn on my Steam Deck, and you will check that it's not, there is no audio on this one, and I am using the mainline kernel in this on this Steam Deck. Maybe you cannot see that good, but more or less. Okay. You can see that it's turning on, right? So what I need to do first, I already have an environment for my Steam Deck, and I already compiled the kernel So I will not waste a lot of your time doing that. So I need first to, I have a list of environment, and I will just move to the Steam Deck. My view is not that good, I'm myopic, so I'm having some problems to check that. But okay, now I am the Steam Deck environment, right? And I will show you just this, and let me check if I can access my Steam Deck. No, is it on? Yeah. Should be. Let me try again. Okay, maybe. Maybe. Device connected, Steam Deck. Let me check the IP. The IP is right. Okay. Troubleshooting. Let me SSH directly, so I can check if. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm like old lady. Check. Okay. Oh, I see. Never mind. I didn't unlock the remote access with public key. Okay. So then, okay, I'm there. So I will. I can just check what is the kernel running here. Okay, so let me apply the patch that I know fix. It's a downstream patch. I will just build and deploy. Oh, I will first build because I want to use other commands to deploy. Not that fast machine, is not that powerful, so sorry. But as you can see, I already have the kernel compiled in this environment. I just changed it to this environment, and when I apply the patch, it's just target the sound subsystem, so it's just only compiling this directory. Then I think it's about to finish. I hope so. In Steam Deck, it's use some downstream patches. That's why I didn't use KWBD at once. I will use KWB, and then after I will use KW force option, because I want to ignore any issue on any warning or error on init run fs update. So okay, finally, sorry. Then I will run what I said. I will run force. I cannot run force, and it will complain and just ask me if I want to proceed or not. And then I will ask to reboot, so I don't need to touch my machine. And I hope it's not that slow. Going. So basically, it's preparing a turbo and sending to the Steam Deck. Oh, okay. I hope it's not that slow. When we are here, it seems slower than when I was running at home. So as I mentioned to you, there are some errors, and I decided to ignore, and you can see that probably my Steam Deck is rebooting. And I hope when it's reboot, we have some audios. I hope so, let's see. It's what I'm trying to do. A bit slow also because they are checking things that they don't have in the mainline kernel. Now I have the sound. Not as fast as I expected, and as I told you, I recorded it, but you know, I tried to make something with more, movement. I don't know. So what else can Kworkflow already mix and match? Not that much, so don't expect a lot, please. As I mentioned, it's voluntary work. So we can mix and match different distributions, Linux distributions, Debian, Arch-based, Pop! OS, Fedora, Ubuntu, and SteamOS that is Arch-based. We can also mix and match if we are targeting a remote machine or a local one or a virtual machine. We can also mix and match architectures. And I think basically is that. Oh, I forgot to also talk about KW send patch. For example, I have this patch. Let's say that I decided to send it to the specific main list. So I can use KW send. It's okay to see, right? Or okay. I can use KW send patch. I just want the latest one, but I can also have, you know, a series. I will send it, but I will simulate because I don't want someone very angry with me with this patch. That should not go upstream. So as you can see, it's prepare everything, basically using git send mail. And then I will just confirm. And as you can see here, we have, for example, the important person that should check this patch automatically added to recipients of this patch, and also the mailing list, the Linux sound that will receive this, and the Igalia mailing list, because we try to share our knowledge internally with this mailing list. So basically it's that. And I need to, yeah. So NDU, do you have any secret recipes to share? So let's talk. And basically is that I think I didn't use a lot of time. So if Paul was to continue something, some demo, it's also open. And if you have any question, yeah. Or more than that, if you have any recipe to share, it's time to start a conversation about that. But also, I would like to have contributions to the Kworkflow, because we are also using our spare time to improve the tool. So it's good to have more hands.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. Very interesting. I have a question for the packaging. When you produce a kernel and you deploy and install, do you actually produce packages for the distro, or is it just binary and tarball?
No, it's just the tarball of the kernel with with the configuration that KW needs. For example, some scripts that it will run in the target machine. So basically,
okay.
It's that.
Thanks.
And also, Andrea, I wrote because I don't know if you remember that during FOSDEN, you suggested me to add the virtme ng, nice. Right? I have this issue open, but yeah, once we have some time, we want to add it.
I can take a look as well. Like, yeah. Thank you.
So I don't forget. I don't forget.
Hello, thanks.
Hi.
So you said also you worked on DKMS. Since there is no package generated, do you know if this works well with, for example, Debian DKMS packages? Do they get recompiled against the new kernel?
Do you mean, I didn't fully understand, but I think it's about the VKMS driver, right?
DKMS and Kworkflow. When you send a new kernel, are the modules recompiled, for example?
Only the module is recompiled, right? And then you send the whole custom kernel to the machine that will load the VKMS driver. But maybe I'm not.
Yeah, I was thinking out of 3 drivers
okay.
that are compiled with DKMS packages.
Yeah, for example, again, let me see if I got it. For example, we have some downstream kernel, and we can apply that and just use Kworkflow as normally. Is that you?
More like distribution DKMS packages.
Oh, okay.
For example, I don't know, the NVIDIA drivers or something.
DKMS.
DKMS.
Okay, yeah, okay, DKMS, because I went in at the VKMS that was a driver, so that's why I was confusing. So DKMS we don't support with DKMS, but yeah, it's good because it's largely used, and we also probably it will be something that we need to add because we are also working on some DKMS package there.
So perhaps I missed the key point at the beginning, but what's the main contribution as compared to just doing things in the normal way, running make and so on?
What is the main?
What is the main contribution as compared to what one does normally, run make and so on?
Can you elaborate again the question? Because the main contribution of Kworkflow, do you mean?
Yes.
What is the main contribution of Kworkflow?
Yes. How does it make things easier for the
okay.
than just running make in the normal way?
Okay. I think we usually have our scripts, our own scripts. When someone new join your project, or when you jump to a new project, you just create a new script to automatize what you do every day. We also need to use different tools, and we need to remember all the tools and all the commands we can use. VKMS is kind of it's simplifying everything in a single project, with some very basic commands and automatizing. It's kind of collecting all these scripts and generalize it to plug and unplug according to our development environment. So I think the main contribution of the project is that to simplify and also to share. I think the second main contribution is we are sharing to anyone that wants to start in the kernel or that want to start in contribute to a different device or a different distribution. Or for example, if you only need once to deal with a specific distribution, so with Kworkflow, you don't need to search everything, all the information, and check all tutorials for that. You can just install the Kworkflow and run the same command that you should run for any combination of this device and architecture and target machines.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have just a small question. Is like everything was fine, like in building and publishing the new kernels, but what happens if something is wrong? Do you attach a KGDB, or how you can dump the console?
Okay. What we have, we don't have, for example, for Raspberry Pi, we don't have a very good way to change to a previous kernel that was working as expected. We also, but for others, it's just a new only the first boot. It's not that good, but. Yeah, we don't have a way to, for example, if it's a really remote machine, to turn on and off and on again. To actually, it's not doing that. But yeah, basically, we are not plugging many ways to. We didn't plug, but we can do it. But we didn't plug many ways to recover from. A crash.
Oh, well, it should be a nice feature for your tools.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention about, but not exactly about crash, but about debugging. We also have not only the mask, but we can use events and ftrace in the same way for we use the mask in KW debug. I just remind about that.
Thank you.
Hello. I have a question. You were talking about collaborating around kernel development, of course. And what comes to mind is what happens if multiple users are using the tool on the same machine? Do you handle such a concurrent behavior?
It's okay. Many using the same machine, for example, many rebooting.
Yeah.
It's basically it's bash scripts running. So if we are not, for example, warning a user that another one is already running things, we are not doing that. It will just, crash actually. I mean, crash not, but it's just say, your machine rebooted already and you cannot continue your thing.
I was more thinking about something like let's say, something crazy like a text file or something you touched somewhere and you just check for it, just to know if someone is already working on it.
Okay, yeah, it's not dealing with that, but yeah, it's a good.
Is there support for running external test suite like FS tests or MM tests? How do you integrate that into the KW workflow?
No, we didn't explore that, mainly because it's not something, for example, for me, that I am one of the active user of the Kworkflow. I am not, running those things. But probably with the command execution option on with the KW debug that I said, we can execute some commands. I actually ran a command was for block user space, some tests that we have there, and it can work. It's kind of you can do it, for example, you can SSH and do this test, but it's just, a wrap that you can do in your machine and just pass the command or the script that you want to be run in the target machine. So it's a way to do that. But we didn't explore, but it's a way that I can think we can do. But it's not automatized or wrapped with a better name and yeah.
So if somebody else wanted to contribute that, you'd be interested in it?
Sorry?
If somebody else wanted to do that work, you'd be interested in it?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, so is there any support for Git work trees, or is it using them internally for switching the environment, or can I have different environments in different work trees in the same time?
Yeah, what we have we store everything in the cache directory of the local user, and it's basically storing the compilation and all the stuff is in a specific directory that we have a hash to specify from where this environment came from, and that not that sophisticated.
Okay, and is there any support for virtme, like using it together?
Yeah, it's in our plan. We put in the issue tracker that we want to add it. And we also have some colleagues working with virtme, so we want to also extend what we have in Kworkflow to support virtme.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. I have a question. Does this script support cross-compiling for different architectures?
It's basically cross-compiled to ARM and ARM 64, but not others. So basically, we only have support to x86, ARM, and ARM 64.
Okay.
No? Yeah? Okay. Maria is just telling me that we just need to change the config file to cross-compile to other architectures. As I never tried, I thought it was not possible. So try it, and yeah, probably, it's something that I was not aware of. So it's, we have, in the build configuration, we can set exactly the tool that we use to cross-compile, so you just need to set it for the specific tool that we use for that. That's what Maira is telling me just now.
Okay, from me somehow related question, is it possible with Kworkflow to test the different compilers or configuration of toolchains, like different versions of Clang? Does it automatize that kind of stuff?
We have some support to Clang, right? LLVM, yeah. Yeah, so we have some support, but not not fully, the full support of that. So we have some different compilers. Oh my God.
I was curious about when you were using the searching on lore. What was that component called? Were you able to search and apply messages? You were able to search for patches.
Do you mean the patch hub?
Yeah. What I'm not familiar with that. Is that part of this workflow that you were showing us, or?
It's like a side project. That's part of Kworkflow, but it's doing separately. It's implemented in Rust. But basically it's used some before features.
Great.
It's wrapped before to connect and get things from the lore. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Looked really exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, just about the patch hub, I didn't show that because of reasons that we can also send a review by just checking the patch that you agree. For example, you can apply, check if everything is good, and then you can go back to the patch that you bookmarked and just check it's reviewed by you. So it will automatically send to the mailing list that you agree with the patch. So thank you. If you want to know more about us, this is the link of Igalia website, and also Kworkflow that you can check tutorials, documentation, and inside that you can check our GitHub. And basically it's that.